Tankless water heaters, I've used them for years. I really like them. However, there's a couple of downsides that not everybody tells you. I'm going to reveal those for you today. Tankless water heaters, I've used them for years. I really like them. They've got a lot of benefits. The endless hot water is fantastic. In fact, I have a tankless at my house and it's been a huge change going from a standard tank to a tankless. I really like it. But there's a couple things you need to know about tankless. 3 things in particular we're going to talk about today that I don't see talked about very often that you need to know about so you have correct expectations. Number 1, a tankless unit does require maintenance. The harder your water, the more maintenance that's going to be required. For instance, where I am in the south, I have very hard water at my house and I use my tankless a lot. I have 4 kids plus my wife and I, so my tankless unit gets a lot of use. I need to flush mine once a year. That's basically a solution that you're going to pump through the burner system in there and it's going to remove all those calcium deposits from that hard water. Now, if you just have 1 or 2 people in your house, you might be able to go 2 or 3 years. Or if you have a water softener system, you can go probably 5 years or longer before you're going to need to flush it. You may never need to flush it actually if you have really soft water. But know that maintenance is something you're going to have to do on a regular basis for a tankless water heater. Okay, number 2, power. You know, these tankless units, they have electricity to them and they need that electricity for both the circuitry and to fire up the burner. So if your power goes out, you won't have any hot water. If you had a standard tank at your house, you'd at least maybe have 50 gallons of water that was hot, so if the power went out, you could probably get 1 or 2 showers out of that. With this unit, until the power comes back on, you're not gonna get any hot water out. Okay, and finally, the last thing I wanna talk about is freeze protection. If you're using a tankless, it's great to put it somewhere inside the air-conditioned envelope of your house so you're not worried about freezing. For instance, this is an indoor mounted model that's gonna vent through a wall. I often put these inside my clients' garages. That's a great place to put them. If you have a basement, if you're in the north and you have a basement, that's a great spot for your tankless. This is gonna bring in the burner combustion air and then exhaust that air from the burner combustion process. It's not gonna mix with your house air. Everything here and the plumbing is gonna be within the air conditioned space, no freezing issues. However, in the south, you might have an exterior tankless unit. This is actually what I have at my house, and I really like these because we're gonna save space out of the house, but you need to take a couple of extra precautions for freezing. Number 1, you need to make sure the power's on to this unit in freezing weather because it has an internal electric heater. You're good to very low temperatures, depending on the model that you have specifically, down to at least 5 degrees or 0 degrees outside, which I never see where I am here in Texas. We're protected in the main body of the tankless. But remember, there's pipes that lead up to that tankless that are outside. Those need to be wrapped in insulation, and in fact, you may consider putting heat tape on those as well so those don't freeze. Okay guys, hopefully you learned something about tankless. Don't be afraid of these, they're good units, but you need to know these things ahead of time so you know what to do and you can educate your clients correctly on what to expect for tankless. For more information, visit my playlist on water heating in general. I've done a bunch of reviews of water heaters. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Rogue Show.